Hello, 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 Internet. Welcome. Let's see here. I am live. I'm coming to you today live from my kitchen table. And the reason that I'm coming to you live right now is that my phone is blowing up. Everybody is calling me and texting me and asking me questions about Donald Trump's latest tweet about how because of the coronavirus, he's suspending immigration. People are asking me what this means. What does this mean, and what does it mean for their case? I'm getting questions from people who are applying for asylum, people who are applying for green cards through marriage, people who are applying for naturalization. I have plenty of clients who are at consulates abroad, and they're wondering what's going to happen. Is the National Visa Center going to process their applications? Everybody has the same question. What does this mean? And thanks, Joni. Thank you so much. So I want to know, what questions do you have about what this means? What questions do you have about Trump's tweets? I'm going to tell you what I think about it and what I think it means. And I have my own message for you tonight, and that's why I'm coming on live for you. And my message is this: keep calm and carry on. Keep calm and carry on. That's what you need to do. You cannot if your goal is to become a U.S. citizen or to get a green card or to live in the United States, you can't let your goal be derailed by a tweet. That's not the way life works. My opinion is that this tweet is a transparent ploy by the president to distract everyone's attention. And what he's doing is he's trying to dominate the news cycle and create a situation in which tomorrow every newspaper and every radio show and so on is going to be consuming all their energy talking about what it means for immigration instead of focusing on his incompetence. And the main story that should be focused on is what happened to the $1 trillion small business bailout. If you are a small business, you probably didn't get any money. You probably didn't get any money at all, but who did get the money was Shake Shack and Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And that's not the story that the Trump administration wants you to read. The story they want you to read is all about how immigration is canceled and there's going to be no more immigration. It's all nonsense. It's a transparent ploy to distract your attention. What was the president doing in January and February and March? And what is he doing now? Why is the United States not conducting widespread testing for the coronavirus? Countries like South Korea are doing widespread testing, but the Trump administration has not found it possible to do widespread testing for the coronavirus. That's not the story he wants you to write about. The story he wants the media to write about is why immigration is canceled. So there's Eddie. Hey, Eddie, how you doing, buddy? You're one of my favorites. So the main point that I have for you is if you're applying for a green card through marriage and all of a sudden you see this tweet, I want you to disregard the tweet. I want you to keep going and keep applying for your green card so that you can be with your loved one. If you want to become a U.S. citizen, do not let this tweet distract you from your goal. Most immigration cases nowadays, whether it's a green card or a work visa or anything, it could easily take a year for an immigration case to get processed. And we don't even know if President Trump is going to be in office within a year. There's an election coming up in November, and most polls show that he's behind. So he may not even be the president by the time your immigration case is finished processed. So keep that in mind. Another thing, there's a huge contradiction in what President Trump is tweeting now. He's saying that the coronavirus is so awful that we have to cancel all immigration. We have to suspend immigration because the coronavirus is this killer of jobs and it's so dangerous. It's an invisible enemy, he says. But wasn't it earlier today or just recently that he's talking about reopening the whole economy on May 1st? And he's tweeting his support for those who are protesting shelter in place. So on the one hand, President Trump is saying that the virus is no big deal and we should have professional sports should reopen soon. And on May 1st, the economy is going to be reopened. But then he's suddenly, on the other hand, he's saying that immigration should be canceled. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's contradictory. Let's go to some questions. What's going to happen if the president suspends immigration cases? So let me answer something about that. There was a time when President Trump said that he was going to suspend immigration from all Muslim countries. You remember that? And then we went into court, and it turned into the travel ban. And then it went to the Supreme Court. And then they created 2 or 3 different versions of the travel ban. And now what we're left with is a ban on immigration from certain countries with a waiver. But guess what? I've been getting cases approved from all sorts of countries that are subject to the travel ban. Cases from Nigeria, from Iran, and so on. So I think that this is just an attempt to frighten people. And, think of it like the travel ban, the Muslim ban, call it what you want. It was something that they created for political purposes to create some hysteria. But it's something that really, if you have a lawyer and you're pushing forward with your case, you should be able to get things approved. Joni says, almost 4 years now, my husband is in Morocco. I'm so sorry to hear that. You have to file a writ of mandamus lawsuit. I've been creating videos about that all the time, and I'd be happy to chat with you about it. What about a K-1 visa? Victoria, thank you for your comment. K-1 visa, if you're engaged to get married, congratulations to you. I'm so incredibly happy for you that you're engaged to get married. And I think you should go forward with your immigration case. Don't let President Trump's tweet discourage you in any way at all. File that application. Get that application filed. Push forward. Don't let yourself be distracted. Don't let your goals, don't let some silly tweet distract you from your goals. That's exactly, and the same thing for all these cases. Can we apply for a labor perm certification? Why not? A simple tweet from the president is not going to stop a company from filing a labor certification for a needed employee. What about spouse and CR1 cases? I have the same comment to all these cases. You should pretend this tweet never happened, because tomorrow he may come out with something completely different. 1 minute, the coronavirus was a hoax by Democrats. And the next minute, he was a wartime president. So these tweets, they come and they go, and they don't have any meaning to them. Don't let yourself be distracted by this. Don't fall. Don't take the bait. Don't fall for this. This is not something that you should pay any attention to. File your immigration case. Pursue your immigration goal. Don't let the president get into your head. Suspending immigration is not something the president can do with a tweet by fiat. It can't be done. How about a 485 that's pending? Let's see some of the other questions. Let's go over to Periscope, YouTube. Anybody have any questions for me? I'm here to answer them. I'll be on as long as you need me. Let's see what else we got here. Here we go. Sayyara Islam, thank you so much for your question. It says, my family and I have been in Bangladesh for 4 months now. We're waiting for an F4 visa. We got a lawyer to file a mandamus, and we're about to get our visa, but the embassy closed. Don't get discouraged. If the lawyer filed the mandamus, you were going to push that case forward. You did the right thing by filing that. And I hope you get your visa soon. If there's anything I can do to help you or you have any other questions, let me know. But don't get discouraged just because the consulate's closed, the embassy's closed. The embassy in Dhaka, it's not going to be closed forever. It's going to reopen at some point. And someone's going to get a visa. And if you filed a mandamus lawsuit, you did the right thing, and you're going to push them to review and make a decision on your application. So my hat goes off to you. Good job on that. When will the embassy reopen? I'm an immigration lawyer, but I'm not a magician, or I can't predict the future, and I don't know when the consulates are going to reopen. But they're going to reopen at some point. They may not. They may reopen in May. They may reopen in June. They may reopen in September. I have no idea, but at some point they're going to reopen. At some point, people are going to get visas, and if you filed a visa application, then at some point you should get your visa. Don't get discouraged. A temporary delay is what this is. It's temporary, and it's going to pass. This will pass. Eddie, best lawyer in the world. He set me free 12 years ago. I love you, buddy. Thank you so much. I want you to notice my Haitian bus painting up in this corner over here. That's my pride possession. Thank you so much. Amina Hassan, the embassy in Pakistan is closed. The embassy in Pakistan is closed in Islamabad. That's true. But that doesn't mean it's going to be closed tomorrow. It doesn't mean it's going to be closed next week or next month or the month after that. At some point, that embassy will reopen. And when it does reopen, they're going to be issuing visas. And if you stick with it, you will get a visa. You can get a visa. Can we still file a mandamus lawsuits? I'm filing mandamus lawsuits every week. And the primary target right now is the U.S. consulate in Islamabad. Pakistanis are hiring me. I have a lot of Pakistani clients, and I have a lot of Pakistani friends. And my heart goes out to any of you and all the people in Pakistan who are suffering through the administrative processing delays. I'm here for you if you have questions. Stay safe, Josh. I am staying safe. I'm doing my part. I'm at home right now. I'm at my kitchen table. I am as safe as can be. My wife is cleaning the kitchen. And I feel compelled to jump on and go live with everyone. This is really the first time I've ever gone live. And it's the reason I'm going live is I'm just getting so many questions on my phone from all my clients and all my friends. And they're saying, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And I just want to make sure that everybody knows not to get distracted by this tweet. Do not let this tweet derail your immigration goals. I am filing applications for naturalization. I'm filing mandamus lawsuits. I'm filing cases for green cards through marriage and for I'm working with professional athletes who need work visas. All these things are going forward, and I'm not letting these tweets or this temporary shutdown distract me and my clients. Says here, President Trump says he's going to suspend immigration. Is that going to affect someone under administrative processing? Administrative processing is my pet issue. It's the immigration issue that I'm most concerned about these days. I help people with administrative processing whose visas are stuck. Administrative processing is just a fancy word for delaying people. So you go to the consulate, you apply for a visa, you deserve to get your visa, but instead of getting your visa, they tell you that you're going to be put in administrative processing and put on hold. And what we do is we file a mandamus lawsuit against the consulate, and eventually the consulates issue the visas. The consulates claim to be closed right now. I'm still filing lawsuits against them. My theory is this. At some point, the consulates will reopen. At some point, they will begin to process new visa applications. And if you file a writ of mandamus lawsuit, you're putting pressure on the consulates to prioritize your case and to pay attention to your case. And I think that's the best strategy that you have going forward. But my heart goes out to you because I know what a profound and negative impact that has on so many people's lives. Couples and families that have been waiting for months and years to get their visas processed. How will this affect individuals who are already applying for green cards due to marriage? Look, that's coming from Austin, Texas. I love that city. I love Austin, Texas. Thank you for your question. If you're applying for a green card through marriage, you're in the process. Maybe you did your biometrics. Maybe you're waiting for your biometrics. Maybe you're waiting for an interview. Your case is going forward and you're in line to get your green card. This pandemic is going to delay things. There's no doubt about it. Immigration, USCIS is not conducting in-person interviews for biometrics or anything for another month or so. They say it's until around May 3rd, I believe. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if that is extended into May or even June. But you know what? Whether it's May or June, at some point they're going to reopen. And at some point they're going to process applications and have interviews. And you have to keep that in mind. It may take a few extra weeks, though. It may take a little bit longer. Here we have Tamida Islam. Thank you so much for your question from Facebook. It says, my immigration visa has been issued. Can I travel to the U.S.? If you have a visa to come to the U.S., then you can travel to the U.S. Now, the logistics is, how do you physically travel to the U.S.? Can you get a flight to the U.S. and so on? But if you can make it to the U.S., if you can find a way to fly into the U.S. and you have a visa, then you can present that visa at a border post at an airport and you can seek admission to the United States. And good luck to you. Oh, look who I have here, Francisca Chavez. Good to hear from you. You're one of my favorites. Thank you so much. And we have Kafiat Khan. What will happen to an already issued visa, but I can't travel due to the lockdown? Okay, if your visa is set to expire, there is a process to renew and extend the visa. And I have a whole video on my YouTube channel about how to do that. And if you message me, I'll be happy to send it to you. Another Facebook user says, Dear Josh, what Trump has said, how does it affect marriage visas? We don't know what Trump's tweet will actually mean. It's a matter of speculation. And I have a feeling that in 2 weeks, no one will even pay attention to this. No one will know what this means. But I wouldn't pay too much attention to it. It says here, we have Agia Toure. Thank you so much for your question. It says, my cousin's case at the Dhaka embassy and her interview was in Senegal on March 26th, but it was canceled. Do you think that she'll have another interview again? Absolutely, I do. Look, the coronavirus is a real threat. And I think the consulates did the right thing by temporarily suspending their interviews, even though that means it's going to be challenging for a lot of people. But the thing that you have to keep in mind is that those interviews are going to be rescheduled, and there are going to be new interviews. And I think and hope that your cousin gets an interview soon. Whether it's going to be next month or the month after, there will be another interview. Here we have Jules. Thank you for your question. It says here, the current suspension of immigration to the U.S., will it affect the K-1 visa process? It will affect the K-1 visa process in the sense that things will probably take longer to be processed, but don't let this derail your plans. And congratulations on getting engaged, by the way. Keep filing your immigration case. Keep pressing forward. Your plans to get married shouldn't be impacted by this. We have Lakshmi with a question. Thank you so much, by the way. It says, can you please advise the impact for H-1B workers? Well, are you asking about whether someone who has an H-1B visa and is in the U.S. right now, those people, if they're able to work, they can continue to work. I don't see why this tweet would impact them in any way. Claudio, my sister-in-law petitioned for us about 14 years ago, and we're in the process of filing the DS-260 and uploading the civil documents. That sounds awesome. Congratulations on you. Let's see here. And it says here, would our case be affected? You should assume, Claudio, you should assume that your case will not be affected. Keep uploading your documents. Keep filling out the forms. Keep following the process. Keep pushing forward with this. Your sister applied for you 14 years ago. Do not let a single tweet interrupt your immigration goals. These are something that has been going on for almost 15 years. Keep following the process and have faith. Here we have Antu Nguyen. Will it affect removal of conditions on green card and citizenship? I don't see how it would. Just today, I took on 2 new cases for people with conditional green cards who are applying to remove the conditions on their green card. And that is, they have a 2-year conditional green card. They want to get a permanent green card and then go on and become citizens. I wish you all the best with that, I think you should have no problems. Do not let the president's tweets distract you from your goal. You're a permanent resident right now, presumably, or your spouse is, and you're going to remain so. Follow the process, file the forms, file the applications, go for your citizenship, and don't let this hold you back. How does it affect? Oh, Claudio, yeah, thanks. Facebook user says, my wife got her visa. Is it okay for her to come back after the airlines are open? Okay, yeah, here, let me answer your question. If you have a valid visa and you're able to travel to the US, then you can go into any airport and seek admission. If your visa expires before you're able to get back, then contact the consulate and ask them to extend the visa. Another person from Austin says, do you think a few grams of marijuana and a plea of nolo contendere for the charge can be overcome? The immigration officer wants me to file an I-45. Marijuana, even a few grams of marijuana can have a devastating impact on an immigration case. You definitely want to consult with an immigration lawyer on that. There is a waiver, an I-651 waiver that you can get for a single offense of simple possession of marijuana for personal use. Single offense, and you have to show that there were under 30 grams involved. But that's a whole other conversation. Contact me or another immigration lawyer. I'd be happy to help you with that. Let's see here. Another Facebook user. What if I have a green card and I'm getting close to my 6 months, but I'm locked in because of the COVID? Will they take it away from me? No, they will not. I have a video on my YouTube channel about this. If you contact me, I'd be happy to send it to you. But there is a procedure for you to request that the consulate extend your visa if it's expiring and you're unable to travel to the U.S. We do this all the time. I can help you with this. It's not a big deal. But you should try to get to the U.S. as soon as you can. I understand that this is a difficult time because of the coronavirus. Let's see here. What other questions do you have? Anybody on YouTube? Anybody have any questions on YouTube? All right. Here on says I have both a 751 and N400 pending, and I don't know what to do now. My extension green card will expire. What should I do? Can you give me advice? If you have both those applications pending, then you should sleep well tonight and know that you've done all you can. If you have any questions about this, you can contact me and I can give you more specific, case-specific advice. But if you have an I-751 application that's pending and you have an N400 that's pending, you're in great shape. Both those applications are pending, and there's no reason in the world why you couldn't get both of those cases approved. And I hope you will, and I can help you with that. If you have any questions, message me, let me know. Johnny says, doing this live tonight with all of us in a panic, says live. Hey, I hope you're safe too. That's the number one goal, really, is to remain safe. Stay home, shelter in place. I had a client today who asked me a question, and I think it's a pretty good point to make. He was asking me about naturalization, and he said, well, he was worried about the coronavirus and naturalization. He said, well, how many in-person interviews or connections will I have to make through the naturalization process? And I said, really, there are three. There's the biometrics appointment, there is the naturalization interview, and then there's the naturalization oath ceremony. So there are three meetings that you have to have that are in person for naturalization. And I said to him, you know what? This is optional. Why not do this 3 or 4 years from now? Keep your green card and do it a few years from now. Unless there's some urgency, just wait. Do it later. Take the pressure off yourself if you're really worried about the coronavirus. Can you get to answer your question? Yes. Ask me any question. What's your opinion about the Trump tweet? My opinion is that the tweet from Trump is a thinly disguised distraction that is attempting to suck up oxygen and take up energy in the news cycle and to distract people from his incompetence. and the way that he's mishandled the coronavirus in the United States. The United States has more cases than any other country in the world. And soon we're going to have, if we don't already, have more deaths than any country in the world. 40,000 or so Americans have died from the coronavirus. And we still don't have widespread testing in the United States. Why is that? And that's what he doesn't want people to write about. Instead, he wants the front page of the newspapers to be about how immigration is going to be shut down. What does this mean? What does this not mean? What's he going to do? What are the courts going to do? What's the reaction? That's what he wants to dominate the news cycle. It's a distraction. It's a transparent distraction from his own incompetence. What about students in the United States? I don't think this tweet is intended for them. Let's see. What other questions do we have? We have Nauman Shazad. Thank you for your question. It says, hello, sir. I hope you will be fine. My interview for a K-1 visa was on the 21st of January 2020. The consular officer refused my visa and did not give me any letter, and he gave me my passport back. Okay, Nauman, there's something important you should know. The word refused does not mean what you think it means. Refused, in this case, typically means temporarily delayed. Refused does not mean denied. So hopefully there's still hope that you can get your K-1 visa. If you have questions, please let me know. Chelsea Reyes says, if you think it's true that he will sign it, what will it affect, family visas or work visas? I think that when this is all over, the effect of the president's tweet will be of little or nothing. I think we should assume that this tweet is meaningless. James, thank you for your question. It says, I have 2 I-130s for my son and my stepson. Are they still going to be processed? Absolutely. Absolutely, they're going to be processed. Don't let anyone tell you they're not going to be processed. As I said earlier, the thing to keep in mind is that President Trump has less than 1 year in office if he doesn't win the election. And so almost everything that he's done in immigration could be undone by President Biden if he loses the election. Even if President Trump were to be reelected, we don't know what, if anything, will actually be enacted. He said that he was going to reopen the economy for Easter. Remember that? He wanted everybody to be in church for Easter and the economy was going to come roaring back. Well, now he said the economy is going to become roaring back on and America is going to be reopened on May 1st. But when May 1st rolls around, who knows what will happen? So these tweets, they come and they go and they may not have a great deal of meaning. Can we still file writ of mandamus after this tweets? This is from Mohammed Raza. Absolutely. I'm going to be filing writ of mandamus lawsuits tomorrow. I'm going to be filing them all week. I have 3 or 4 ready to file. And this tweet will not distract me in the least from my goal of helping my clients. Here we have Ladrone. He says, my fiance's interview was canceled the day before. You like that President Biden part. My fiance's visa was canceled the day before it was supposed to happen on March 20th. And the calendar reopened with August 4th dates. In August, we were finally able to schedule this week. You see, that's what I'm talking about. Congratulations, Ladrone. That's awesome. So you already have your interview scheduled for August 4th. So, it's going to be delayed by a few months, and that's tough news, but still, you got it. What's your number? I want to contact you, from Mohammed Raza. Love to hear from you. The number is right up here. It's 213-262-2000, 213-262-20000. Happy to talk to you. You can message me. My email address, if I don't have it already on there, is in the comments below. There you go. Any other questions? I'm here. The main message that I have for all of you out there is to remain confident, to remain hopeful, to be safe, to be well, to stay home, shelter in place. But do not let the tweets of this madman distract you from your goals. He created this tweet. He has everybody in a frenzy. What, if anything, this tweet means is unclear and will remain unclear. And that's the message that I have for you. Do you have any idea of the processing times for an I-130 in Vermont or California? This is from James. Thank you for your question, James. I don't put a lot of stock in the published processing times, but you got to believe that the processing times for an I-130 are going to take longer than they normally do. If this case is consular processing, in other words, if your family member is outside the U.S. and if it's based on marriage, there's one thing you might want to do, and that's file for a K3 visa. That's a recent trick I picked up on, and I'm going to be making a YouTube video to explain how to do that. You definitely want to stay. Informed on all the immigration topics. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put new videos up there all the time. I have about 6 ready to go. We have a Facebook user and says, please, can I get an answer to my question? I'm not really sure what your question is. James says, I've gotten a million different estimates on processing times. I would say, don't get concerned about the processing time. Just prepare your I-130, get it filed. And that's the best you can do, right? I mean, maybe it'll take a few months longer. Maybe it'll take 6 months longer than it should. But get it filed. Don't get distracted. Philip Telepa. Hey, Josh. Love that guy. High school friend of mine. Lives in the Orange County. If anybody wants to buy a house in the Orange County, that's the guy for you. What other questions do we have here? I'm happy to stay on and give you my thoughts on all sorts of things. Ooh, here we go. Let me see. We have O'Neill Small. Please, what do we do if the airport's not open for traveling by May 24th? That's when my immigrant visa expires. Absolutely. I have a video on that, and I'm going to post it. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can. I know I'm live on the air right now. But anyway, O'Neill, if you contact me, I'll send you my video that explains exactly what you need to do to get your visa expired. Your expired visa, get it extended. Here we have James. Will Mulaney have to go home now? Will Barron's visa be revoked? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Here we go from Rehan. We have Josh. Despite everything that's going on, just one question. Will this new suspension stop all admin processing cases? Rehan, thank you for your question. Administrative processing is the issue that I care most about right now. I file writ of mandamus lawsuits to help people whose visas are stuck in administrative processing. And I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm still filing lawsuits. I'm still taking on new clients and helping them. I'm not letting this tweet stop me for 1 second from helping people who are in administrative processing. And that's the attitude that I have. Let's see here. Here we have somebody, it says, has been usurped from an 18-year-old immigrant, billions of politicians. I don't understand that question. We have Joni. I hate thinking that they're hungry and afraid because of public charge. Yeah. What other questions do we have? Chelsea Reyes. We currently have F2 spousal visa. The interview is on May 8th, but no cancellations made yet. If this goes through, can he travel here in May? Are they accepting new immigrant rights right now? So if you have your interview on May 8th, right, and no cancellation has been made, and the consulate issues the visa, and your loved one travels to the U.S., then there's no reason in the world why this case couldn't be completed and processed. None at all. Here we have Ashley. Thank you so much for your question. I love your picture, by the way. It says, your case was sent to the National Visa Center. How will this affect us in other filings? So the National Visa Center has furloughed some of its workers right now. So I think that you can expect, even before this tweet, I think you can expect that the National Visa Center will be slow to process your case. Even under the best conditions, the National Visa Center did a pretty spotty job processing cases, but now it's even slower. But with this tweet, I don't expect this tweet will have any impact on your case. I think that this tweet is really an illusion. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Let's see if I can go back and find any other cases. If you have any other specific questions, get in touch with me. Put them in the comments below. I will try to answer every question that people send me. I'll either create a video or I'll reach out to you individually to create to answer your questions. But my main message to you is sleep well tonight. Stay home. Be safe. Do not let this tweet distract you. Take care, and I will see you all in the next video.